Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion. I'm Exterminator. Thanks for joining me. So today, this one is pretty calm, hence the title. Now this one is pretty low key. Some cool graphical stuff at the bottom, but pretty much things we already knew about, and some things up here that don't really affect most people. So this will be a fairly short one, but we will go over it. Calm before the storm. Some good news, I suppose, is that they said this work this week has been progressing nicely on 015, so that's good news. No mention of them being behind schedule, which is even better news. We hope we'll be able to start our internal play testing soon as the team works to close off the rest of the major features. Our seeding will be arriving here in Prague next week for another of his infamous visits, and I'm going to butcher this name, Harkonnen will be joining us shortly after, so the office will be prepared for tackling any issues that may arise. So that's good. They're preparing for the release. They're finishing up some of the major features, which is good. Sounds like they're pretty much on schedule at this point. Since we're going to be spending the next period polishing and fixing what we already have, you can look forward to some less interesting Friday Facts posts in the coming days. Take life of exciting new topics covered as a good omen that the whole team's effort is on getting everything ready for the release. So, yeah, I'm not going to obviously read verbatim the whole thing, but I did want to read this, and I have zoomed in per request for people, so you can hopefully read this on screen as well. So this bit doesn't affect most people. It doesn't really affect me. It has to do with people like me, I suppose. So they just say that video and content creators are, a big integral part of success for them, because people doing Let's Plays, people doing reviews, and such like that really help spread the word about the game, which is true. They say, while this probably won't be the last time, I want to express our deepest gratitude to everybody who has helped spread the word about our project and to every one of our community members and contributors. So now they say, for a long time they've offered press keys, like on their website, like to people who ask and stuff. For channels that meet the requirements, they'll give like a free review key. Pretty standard process for their thoughts and coverage. But the problem they've run into, which is what they go in down here, is that some people will request keys, and their channel looks okay, because they have a bit of a following, but then they get the free key, and then they never actually end up reviewing the game. And a lot of times they'll actually just sell the key then at that point. And then also they say down here, however, they don't cover the game, instead sell the keys. And then they say several weeks later they will send in another email asking for more keys, hoping that they've forgotten about the previous request. So kind of a bit of a scam, skeevy thing that's going on here with some, creators, whatever, video. I would assume that they just mean YouTube or maybe other sites as well. But, so... they say, it's kind of a problem, right? So they're wondering kind of if they should stop sending review keys or if they should, be more picky. I'd say we also like to clarify our policy on Factorio content. So if you didn't know, these guys in the devs are often awesome, right? They 100% support any and all content you make. They don't mind you using pretty much any of their stuff. You don't even have to necessarily ask or get rights. They don't require permission. So that's good. They say these cases have raised some moral question about whether it's acceptable to deactivate a view key. Personally, I would say it's acceptable. If you've noticed that the person hasn't used the key in, say, 2 months, 3 months or so, even, then I would say it's probably pretty acceptable to deactivate it at that point. So that's kind of that stuff. The cool part here down here though is chemical plant and refinery. So they've been updating all the graphics to high res versions, which for anyone curious will be able to be toggled in game. Just under graphics, you'll be able to turn on high res or not. So if for some odd reason you don't want them, or maybe your computer can't quite handle the high res, there will be an option to have the lower res, which is what we have now. So Backlav has been working on a little side project whenever that he could find a few extra hours. Since we made the pipes in high resolution, everything else has become visually incompatible with them, mainly in the connecting points. This motivated me to make more pipe-related entities in high resolution to get everything to match. The process was just render it in double resolution, paste the pipe graphics in the spots where necessary, and then hardcore Photoshop paint over them. So, here's what we have. And these look really great. So these are the high-res versions, aside from the inserters. I don't think those are high-res in here. But the belt, I think, is. I mean, it looks pretty damn good. The underground belt looks very clear. And then, I mean, you can really tell, right, on these refineries and chemical plants and pipes, they look fantastic. I mean, it's the same graphic, right? But it's just much more clear. It's HD, or as HD as you can get for this. You know, the pipes look really nice. All this looks great. The chemical plants, and they explain down below, but you can see that they kind of make it more clear, like what's happening. There's actually like a little preview thing in here. So, you know, I would say maybe this is doing something with lube, green, this one maybe light oil, petroleum, stuff like that. Here's the new pumps if you hadn't really seen these before. This is what the small pumps look like. These are small pumps, you know, it's not a new item in the game, but they changed the graphic. So it looks really cool. You can even see the liquid in there matches what it's doing. And then, you know, water, coal, yeah, these inserters I don't think are high res. And then, yeah, so you can kind of see these graphics and stuff down here, but it just looks really nice. And I think most of the graphics in the game will be this way, but they say, you know, for now it's the refinery and chemical plant. Maybe I will be able to complete the storage tank for 015 as well. Even if not, we will just update the graphics during the 15 experimental phase. So pretty much any graphics that aren't high res for the initial experimental release, they'll just do over time throughout 015, which is great. You know, that's nice that that we'll actually be getting fairly substantial updates, I guess you could say, throughout 15 rather than just constant bug fixes. Of course, there will be bug fixes, but you know, actual like HD graphics and maybe some other features would be great as well. So as a bonus, we added a tint to the working animation of chemical plants so you can tell recipes are being processed. Some of them are quite similar, so it isn't as easy to tell which is which, but certainly clearer than it was before. So yeah, I think they mean like this down here, this little view window thing, and then up top. I think it's actually pretty clear. I mean, this one, off the top of my head, I would say this is sulfur, especially because it's inserting into here. Sulfur, probably sulfuric acid, just because I know the inputs. I mean, there's iron, that's what that takes. Coal into this, maybe plastic, duh. External, look at the picture. I'm pretty tired. So then, yeah, this is really cool. And just imagine, like, most of the stuff in the game looking like this. Even this alone, even if you exclude all the gameplay, like all the features, which are just massive, even if you exclude those, it'll be like a whole new game just with the graphics. I mean, these HD graphics, looking at these and then even comparing it to the inserter, or if you load up your game and look, it's a huge difference. So it's just going to be fantastic. I can't even describe to you how excited I am about this. I'm sure you guys are as well, but that's it. Into the Friday Facts. Whoops. You know, if you want to go share your thoughts or have ideas or whatever, go to the forums. As always, the Friday Facts will be linked in the description. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in regards to any of this as well. As always, I love reading your comments and stuff. A lot of you guys have great ideas and feedback that's really interesting. So that'll do it for this one, guys. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like. And until next time, look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.